oh my gosh, I've never looked better. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing a story time video with you that makes my heart a little bit sad every time I tell the story. Unfortunately, today I will be sharing with you the story of how my hair and makeup at my wedding went totally, irrecoverably, heartbreakingly wrong. There's someone at my door. There are two people at my door. Anyways, so unfortunately, yes, my wedding, it was beautiful. I loved it. I wouldn't have changed almost anything for the entire world, but there was a very large part of it that went terribly wrong. And I actually, I have a very hard time looking at my wedding pictures because of this incident. And you know what? At the end of the day, if I had to do it all over again and knew that the same thing would go wrong, I still would go through with it. It was just, you know, your wedding pictures are kind of something that you look forward to your entire life. I almost planned my wedding months later than I was initially going to because I wanted the pictures to be perfect. But it was just kind of one of those things where you need to like let go of control and just kind of like laugh at a situation you can laugh at. So a little bit of backstory. Steven and I have been married for 3.5 years-ish, I think. Yes. And we initially had a big wedding planned at the Dearborn Inn, which is this really, really beautiful inn near our house in Metro Detroit. And so we had this big wedding planned. We had put deposits down and everything. I had a dress, we had a photographer, we were working on flowers and things like that. And then it just kind of got to the point in the planning process where it just wasn't about us anymore. We weren't having fun. We were so stressed about all the details and everything that we were like, this isn't fun anymore. This isn't about us anymore. So people are walking by. So we decided to cancel that wedding and fly down to Florida and get married on the beach. There were, I think including us, about 16 people at our wedding. So minus us, that's like 14 guests at our wedding. It was just family, a few really close friends, grandparents, like that's it. That's all who was at our wedding. And actually, the funny part is that Steven planned the entire thing. I think he would be a fantastic wedding planner because he's so like no nonsense. He's very good with details. He's very good at taking the emotion out of a situation and focusing solely on the logic. So for him, planning the wedding was like, okay, these are the things that you like. You like these flowers, these colors, and this kind of cake. Okay, we're gonna take that and we're gonna make decisions based on those facts. And he was so good at it. I think he would be a phenomenal wedding planner because he's very good at like, shape up, stop crying, we're gonna make a decision, and that'll be that. Like, he's so good with that kind of a thing. So he planned our entire wedding. Literally all he did was ask me, hey, out of these colors, what do you like? Hey, send me pictures of flowers you like. Hey, send me pictures of the cake you want, and that was that. We went through a service that plans beach weddings for people out of town in Florida. We got married in Naples specifically. And this package that we had purchased included hair and makeup for me. And I have had really, really terrible experiences anytime I've gotten my hair or my makeup done. Like, I always cut my own hair, I always dye my own hair, which has only turned out really poorly one time. That was a really terrible one time, and I ended up looking like Eminem circa like 2000 with the like orange blonde fuzz. That's another story for another time. If you'd like to hear about that story, let me know down below and I can maybe put that together. But I was really, really nervous about getting my hair and my makeup done, especially for my own wedding, since I don't trust anyone to touch my hair or my makeup except for me. It's just always turned out really, really poorly. I once went to get my hair dyed like a nice natural brown that was just a little darker than what I have naturally. And I ended up with strawberry shortcake hair to the point that the little boy that I nannied, when I walked up to his classroom to pick him up for the day, he took one look at me and he goes, what happened to your head? So yeah, just every single time I've gotten my hair done, it's been a disaster. Same with my makeup. And so I was really, really, really nervous. And I was like, you know what? It's my wedding. This woman's a professional. The service says they've used her before and everything's turned out really well. I have exact pictures of what I want. It'll be fine. And I remember telling my entire family, I'm really nervous about this. I don't want to look like a Barbie going to a disco party. Like, I really don't. I don't want too much makeup. I don't want my hair to be gross. Like, I have simple expectations, but I want those expectations to be followed. But I was so nervous that it wasn't gonna turn out. But I told myself, you know what? You're only gonna get married once. So just relax, trust this professional, and everything will be fine. So, as you can probably imagine, everything was not fine. For reference, I will put the pictures up here of what I was going for. I wanted a really soft, natural, brown, smoky eye, just very basic, very natural. I mean, we were getting married on a beach, so I wanted something super natural. Super natural. But I just wanted something really nice, very natural, and I always have a cat eye. Not today, because I sweat off my makeup anytime I go anywhere. But I wanted a nice natural cat eye with a nice natural brown. And the picture I showed her of my hair, I showed her several, I just wanted some nice, this is what we hear all night, by the way, people coming up and down the elevator, slamming the door open to our terrace. Anyways, so I wanted nice natural brown, nice natural cat eye, and for my hair, I wanted just nice, soft curls. Not difficult. Not difficult at all. Especially not for a professional. Do you know how I know this? The night before my wedding, we went out for a little like bachelorette party type thing, which was literally just like me and my family and all of the grandmas like going out and getting dinner. So it wasn't anything scandalous at all. It was really fun, but I had 15 minutes to get ready. I did my hair, just curled it, you know, how I wanted it for my wedding. Did my makeup with a little cat eye and a nice red lip. Did all of that in 15 minutes by myself. And I have a picture somewhere, I'll put that up on the screen. So this was what I wanted. This is what I did myself in 15 minutes, you know, just rushing for a night out. So this woman, you'd think that a professional would be able to do that, and even better, in 15 minutes, let alone the 2 hours that we had blocked for my hair and my makeup. And so, you know, as someone who is not a professional in any way, shape, or form and had done the exact look I wanted in a very short amount of time, I was like, okay, this really isn't asking for a lot. First of all, this woman, this woman, her name was, you know what, we'll call her Carmen. I don't remember, that might actually be her name, but we'll just, I don't know. Her name was Carmen, we'll just call her Carmen. And this woman, Carmen, she showed up, first of all, without a word to anyone, 30 minutes late. So I am a very anxious person. I was diagnosed clinically with anxiety at age 7. How anxious of a person do you have to be diagnosed with clinical anxiety at age 7? So I'm like counting down the minutes. I'm like, we're not gonna have enough time. This is terrible. This just isn't gonna work. And all my stuff was already in like the honeymoon suite. So I didn't have my own makeup. I didn't have my own curling iron. I had nothing. So I'm getting there and I'm like getting to the point of this will be this late. She's half an hour late. Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And she just rolls in half an hour late, like, oh, no big deal. I have arrived. And the first thing she did was she turned off all the lights, like all the lights. And she insisted that she only works by natural light. And there was one window in the entire hotel room that we were in. One window, not even like facing the direction of the sun, so it was really dark, but I'm like, okay, like she's a professional, whatever. And so she does that, turns off all the lights, and gets out her kit and is like, okay, you know, show me the pictures of what you're looking for. And so I showed her and she goes, great, no problem. I'm a professional. I'm so good at what I do. Don't worry, I got you. And gets out the little like spray, like, I almost said aerosol, not aerosol. You know what I'm talking about though, where it's like the spray makeup. And basically proceeds to spray paint my entire face white. Like I'm pale. I'm a very pale person. I have a little color right now just because I've literally been walking in the heat of the summer for the last like 2 weeks everywhere I go. But I am naturally an incredibly pale person. I am not the color of these walls though. And like, that's what she spray painted my face. White. So I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Whatever, we'll roll with it. And remember how I told you that I wanted just like natural brown? Well, in my reference pictures, there was not even a hint of any color that was not like what you would typically consider a natural color. You know, you have your whites, your browns, and your blacks, and like maybe some pink, a little bit for cheeks. I don't know, nothing crazy. Certainly not purple. This woman, Carmen, she took purple eyeshadow and brought it all the way up to my eyebrow, like purple from here to here, like Ursula style, like Evil Queen and Snow White style, like purple up to here. And I was on video chat with my best friend at the time, so I could kind of see like in the little like camera, like self view, I'm like, okay, this doesn't look like a natural color, but whatever, we're gonna trust, we're just gonna like, all right. So then she starts working on my hair so that she can, you know, get that going while she's doing my makeup. And the entire time, Carmen is just bragging about how good she is. She's like, oh, you know what? Most of the billboards in this area, have you seen the billboards in this area? All my work, all my work. I did the makeup on every single model on all the billboards in this area. And she's talking about how she's done work for like these big companies and all these fancy campaigns, and like she gets flown around to do hair and makeup, and like she's the best, she's the best, she's the best. Which when you're needing someone to be the best, it's not really that big of a deal. Like I didn't mind that she was just essentially bragging the entire time she was talking to me, because if she's good at her job, that's literally what I'm paying her for. But it's like that's all she wanted to do. Like all she wanted to do was just sit and talk about herself, and she wasn't focusing on my makeup or anything at all. And like I said, the first step to being like, maybe this isn't a good situation was her just, you know, showing up half an hour late without telling anyone, but fine, traffic, whatever. And then she proceeds to spray paint me white and then puts purple eyeshadow on me. So I'm feeling a little uneasy at this point. And so she starts working on my hair. And so I showed her, I just want really nice, loose, natural curls. Like just something simple. I showed her the picture of me the night before where I was like, hey, I want this, but maybe a little like nicer, maybe a little more polished, like not as rushed looking, because we have time and you're a professional who apparently is so good at your job, you get flown around and do all the billboards in the area. I don't know. And so she puts my hair in curlers and like hairsprays it. I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, this, all right, this seems to be off to a pretty good start with my hair. And then she proceeds to, after a little bit, she like is still working on my makeup, proceeds to take the curls out of my hair, hairspray them, and then brush the curl out. She brushed the curl completely out of my hairsprayed hair, and then gets out a curling iron and starts curling my hair that has just had the curl brushed out of it and already been hairsprayed. And I remember thinking to myself, I have this very distinct memory of thinking, oh, this is new. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I'll learn like a different way to do hair, because like I don't know what I'm doing, and clearly this woman's a professional. I remember having that thought. And so my hair now has been hot rolled, hairsprayed, brushed out, and then curled with a curling iron. And she hairsprays that, hairsprays my curls, and then brushes that out. And at this point I'm going, okay, I don't, you know, I'm not a professional or anything, but I don't think this is how you're supposed to do it. And she proceeds to repeat that process 2 or 3 more times. So my hair, by the end of it, had been curled, hairsprayed, and brushed out like 5 or 6 times. You guys, it looked like I had dreadlocks. It looked like I had dreadlocks. It was so bad. Like my hair was like chunked together and like vaguely wavy in places. And just, it was so bad. And so back to my makeup, right? So I feel like as a makeup artist, a very easy, simple skill is to do a cat eye. Like I know that as a lay person who doesn't do makeup for a living or even regularly, most of the time I'm not wearing makeup just because it's sheer laziness, but I have worked on my cat eye and I now have it down. Like I can do a cat eye on myself. I can usually do a cat eye on someone else. But the thing about cat eyes is that, you know, they're supposed to like draw your eye up. And in order for that to happen, in order for it to, you know, look how it's supposed to, both of the tails have to be pointing in the same direction, you know, up. Or even if they're down, they should both be pointing down. No. Oh, no. Not with Carmen's cat eyes. Carmen proceeds to have one wing going up and one wing kind of like dejectedly, sadly pointing down. As if that wasn't enough. Then she puts on blush. I hate blush. I cannot stand blush. To this day, I have one blush that I have ever used. It's this, I think it's like Nude Sticks is the company. It's this, I bought it purely because of the name, which was Peach Peony. And I have this weird thing with peaches. Like, I love peaches. I'm obsessed with peaches. If anything has the name peach in the title, there's like already like a 40% chance that I'm gonna buy it. If it looks vaguely like it might work for me, there's like a 75% chance I'm gonna buy it, but I love anything named peach. To this day, this Peach Peony blush from Nude Sticks is the only blush I've ever worn. But in general, as a general rule, I hate blush. I think it makes me look like a mime. Don't ask me why, but I feel like it makes me look like a mime. And so she puts blush on me, which I asked her not for. I did not want blush. I was like, hey, I don't want blush. She's like, yeah, that's fine. Proceeds to like whip out the blush. Hot pink blush. And it's like, boom, just like grandma blush. Like, you know, the like blue eyeshadow, like crusty mascara, hot pink blush, like the cute little old ladies wear. Yeah, it was like that, only worse. It was so bad. It was so bad. And so then, finally, to top it all off, I got this like Barbie pink lipstick. And I'm still on video chat with my best friend, and I'm realizing in this little selfie camera that, things aren't really turning out how I want them to, but I'm assuming, since I can trust Carmen, since she's this amazing, amazing person who's literally the best that ever lived, I'm assuming she's gonna tie it all together with a nice little bow, and I'm gonna walk off down the aisle to a lifetime of happiness looking like a princess. Yeah, no, she was done at that point. She was completely done. She goes, okay, you're done. And like my mom, I love my mom. My mom, the entire time I'm looking at her and she's like doing the yeah, this is good. This is really good face. And normally in situations like that, my mom will speak up. When she sees that, I'm not making the best decision or things aren't working out the best in my favor, she'll usually speak up, but she hadn't said anything. So even though her face was screaming, this is not going well, I was like, you know what? If things were really that bad, she would have told me. So Carmen's like, all right, I'm done. You're gorgeous. And I'm like, oh, wow, I love it. Like, when you do the whole, you get a really terrible haircut and they're like, okay, how do you look? And you're like, oh my gosh, I've never looked better, even though you actually hate it. Yeah, so because Carmen had turned off all the lights, I'm just looking in this tiny little hand mirror in the dark, and I'm like, okay, it's not great, but it's fine. I'm like, yeah, okay, thank you. And we give her a tip, and I get up, turn the lights on, and go to look in the mirror. And I burst into tears because I looked like a straight up Disney villain that someone had designed after 6 bottles of wine. I looked hilariously terrible. I think I have a picture somewhere. I'll try to put it up here if I do have it, but the picture doesn't do it justice. It was so incredibly bad. And I look in the mirror and I burst into tears because at this point, now I'm late. This woman was half an hour late. Carmen, I need to stop saying this woman. Carmen was half an hour late and then proceeded to take the entire time we had allotted for makeup and then some. So now we're running late and I look in the mirror and I look like Cruella de Vil had a baby with Ursula and then went on a bender. It was so bad. Oh, and then spent some time in Jamaica and culturally appropriated dreadlocks onto my very Snow White self. It was so bad, and so I'm crying. And I, throughout the entire process of planning my wedding and then canceling my wedding and then having my husband plan my wedding, throughout the entire process of being a bride, I very much prided myself on not having a bridezilla moment. You guys, I had that bridezilla moment at that moment, right before I was supposed to walk down the aisle. I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, I knew this was gonna happen. I didn't want to look like Barbie going to a disco. I looked like worse than Barbie going to a freaking disco. I look horrible. And I did. I looked terrible. It was just, I'm crying. And I'm like, we don't have time to redo any of this. No one in here has any makeup. All of my makeup is in the honeymoon suite already on the other side of the hotel. there's no time for this. It's not like, oh, I'm running late for work and I'm gonna have to like talk my way out of it. This is my wedding. We're already late. We're supposed to take pictures and then walk down the aisle. And like, we're just like, I don't even know. So I'm just frantically, like, I'm trying to like wipe off my makeup because it was to the point where I'd rather have no makeup on than the makeup Carmen had put on me. And so I'm just like trying to frantically wipe off my makeup. And I'm like, Mom, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, I didn't want to intrude. I'm sorry. She was being so sweet, trying to be so supportive. And I was like, why didn't you stop this? Look at my face. And this poor woman is trying to calm me down. And then my sister, for whatever reason, was being really bratty and I like cussed at her in front of my father and my mother, which I'm incredibly embarrassed about. But that was my one bridezilla moment. So I figure if my one bridezilla moment was kind of a doozy, like that doesn't make it better, but whatever. So I'm just livid, wiping off my makeup frantically and just trying to go. Because at this point, it's go time. I'm about to get married and I look like Cruella de Vil and Ursula's baby on a bender. Like it was just bleh. So I wipe off all my makeup and like 5 minutes after this point, once we had finally gotten going, so 5 minutes from I look in the mirror and start crying to like wiping my makeup frantically to now trying to get out the door so I can go get hitched. Once we get into the elevator, I'm like, okay, you know what? This is actually pretty funny because like I knew this was gonna happen and I had been saying from the minute we got engaged about, every single aspect of planning the wedding. At the end of the day, even if the roof caves in, even if everything goes wrong and I'm still married to Steven, it'll all be fine. And so I had been saying that the entire time that I've been planning this wedding, but I didn't think I'd actually have to like draw on the reserves of like strength and patience that I had been building up. I didn't think I would actually have that theory tested. Like, okay, everything, just my vanity at this point was gone. And I would just, even though I had been saying, even if everything goes wrong, I'm still marrying Steven, so I'm happy, but like I didn't think that was gonna be tested, That's what I'm trying to say. But it was at this point that I kind of started to laugh and I'm like, you know what? This is gonna make a fantastic story and I know I look like garbage. At this point, there's literally less than nothing I can do about it. I look awful. So you know what? This is actually, when you look at it objectively, pretty freaking hilarious. So I went down to the lobby where the poor wedding planner is frantically trying to coordinate how to get Steven to the little beach altar and me where I need to go. Beach altar? No, like the like arch where we were gonna be getting married. She's trying to like frantically get him where he needs to go and me where I need to go. We're already late. She's trying not to let us see each other because we like didn't want to see each other the entire first day. Or the entire day before the wedding. And so this poor woman, like we laid into her. We were like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm laughing and yeah, this is kind of funny. But at the end of the day, this woman like jacked up my face before my wedding and we're paying all this money. We were assured that she was a professional, that she knew what she was doing. And this is not okay. And this poor wedding planner like took it really personally and she started like crying. And so she was crying and we were like mad, but kind of laughing, but now feeling really bad that we made her cry. And she was like, I'm so sorry. I'll take care of it. We'll talk to Carmen, like we'll figure it out. I'm so sorry. And so somehow we got to the point where I was actually gonna be walking down the aisle. And previously, during the day, it had been super, super cloudy. Like it was not good. It was looking like it was gonna rain the entire day up until like right before I was about to go down the aisle. And right as I was about to walk down, like the skies broke. It just became this beautiful sunny day and it was just perfect. So this story does have a happy ending. So even though my hair and my makeup were absolutely atrocious, and I could have done a better job blindfolded by myself after 3 shots of tequila, it was all fine. I mean, my dress, I loved my dress. I absolutely loved my dress. It was literally the second dress I tried on and I was like, this is it, this is the one. The sky broke and was just beautiful. The flowers were like the pictures I had sent the wedding planner, but even better. Like she nailed it. The florist nailed it. We had this beautiful harp playing as I was walking down the aisle, and then during the ceremony, and when we were walking back after the ceremony. And the cake, oh my goodness, the cake was absolutely gorgeous. It was gorgeous, it was amazing. We had chocolate cake with chocolate filling and then this gorgeous white frosting that had kind of been like whipped, and there were flowers on it, and it looked identical to the picture I had sent. And so at the end of the day, even if the roof caved in, I was still married to Steven. Oh, I did forget one little detail though. I had spent like 2 hours the night before writing my vows, and I was happy with them, and I was thrilled, and I was like, this is perfect. I'll just bring these and I'll read them and that'll be it. Yeah, I forgot my vows, and so I had to like go off the top of my head, which is a total ADHD move. It was still fine, it was still good, like I got the essence of what I was trying to say, but yeah, so even though a whole litany of things went wrong in my wedding, it was still beautiful, it was still, you know, okay, I looked like, you know, a pretty jank princess, but it was still kind of like a fairy tale. The weather was beautiful, the flowers were beautiful, and at the end of the day, I was able to walk away married to my best friend. So that is pretty much it, but the moral of this story is number one, go with your gut. If you want to do your hair and your makeup by yourself for your wedding day, don't let people talk you into getting a professional to do it just because it's how things are done. If you feel more comfortable taking matters into your own hands and you'll feel anxious if someone else has that responsibility, so be it. Do it yourself. And then the other thing I would really, really like to encourage you in is if you are gonna get your hair and your makeup done by someone for your wedding, please, please, for the love of God, please do a trial run, because you have no idea. I had a friend who recently got her hair trial done. She's getting married in September, and she went to the woman, asked for something very simple, and the woman was like, she totally like botched it. And so that's like reason number 2 in this video why you should always, always, always do a trial run for your hair and your makeup for your wedding. So that is it. That is the story of how I ended up looking like a disco Barbie Disney villain for my wedding. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell for notifications so you will not, I've been talking for too long and I need water. Make sure you also hit the bell so you don't miss any of my travel vlogs, ADHD videos, story times, any of that goodness. And I would love to hear any horror stories you guys have about your own weddings or weddings you've been to. I love that kind of thing because, you know, I feel like I'm part of a club now. Like something really important to me went wrong at my wedding. And so like, let's all share our terrible experiences that we can now laugh at. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you guys next time. Bye.